to another episode of the Wealthy Boss Show. I'm so glad you're here picking up self-care practices that can help fuel you as an entrepreneur to be more effective and at the top of your game in your business, while also actually enjoying the life that you work so hard to create. I know that's something that we often struggle as entrepreneurs in particular to actually just enjoy what it is that we're creating. So today we're going to discuss a self-care practice that can help you with both of those things. We're discussing journaling for creativity and stress relief. Now, gratitude journaling seems to have kind of had a moment lately, and there's a ton of benefit to it. We're going to talk about gratitude journaling as a type of journaling later on, but journaling in and of itself is a very ancient practice. In fact, our earliest records of journaling as a practice date back to 10th century Japan. And I'm guessing we probably, if we could uncover earlier records, there probably do exist. We just haven't found them yet. So journaling has been around forever. This is not some newfangled type of activity that we're including into, a trendy type of, hashtag campaign. This is something that is tried and true. And honestly, I feel like a lot of the self-care practices that are coming, becoming popular and getting notoriety these days actually are very simple things that people have been doing for years that have just become more and more important to us the busier and the higher tech we get. Sometimes those simplistic practices hold so much value that in this explosion of technology and industry and innovation, they might have lost their steam for a few decades. And so I'm glad that we're reclaiming them. So when it comes to journaling is something that I've done for years. I'm trying to remember like the first time I ever wrote in a journal, and I can't even remember it because I must have been so tiny. I kept one of those little journals with, it was like 6 inches big or 4 inches big and had one of those little locks with a key, and my brother would sneak in and write things like, I love so-and-so, whoever my kindergarten crush was. So I have always expressed my feelings through journaling. It's been a very cathartic practice for me. It's been a way to help solidify my beliefs, my feelings, reinforce what's important to me, and help me work through difficult or troubled times. Now, journaling has an incredible benefit for emotional health, for an emotional outlet, or processing through difficult emotions. But it's much bigger than that. So we're going to look at some of the different ways that journaling has been and can be a vital part of making you better in your business and better at life. So a lot of people have kept journals. A lot of famous people have kept journals, for everyone from Christopher Columbus to Anne Morrow Lindbergh. And I always think that there's a practice that's been observed by great leaders or people of notoriety. Obviously, that's worth taking note of and perhaps thinking about incorporating in our own lives. So we talked about emotional outlet, record keeping maybe from historical figures who have found value in recording their reflections or their observations. But there are other very important things and benefits of journaling, such as creative inspiration. So creativity is actually unlocked when we journal, because when we free write, when we have a task ahead of us, I should say not even a task, an activity that we do that is not focused on the end goal. So it's different from, say content writing or writing that email where you have a very specific objective in that writing. It's different from that. So because you're just writing for the actual sake of writing, you're actually able to put your mind into mind-wandering mode. Now, mind-wandering mode is kind of the opposite of task objective thinking, and really provides a nice complement to being able to think of creative solutions, help you organize data in your head more open-endedly, and find connections and solutions to problems that you might not have seen before. Definitely a great way, whether or not that you are directly creative in your business, whether say you're an artisan or you're a creative writer or something that requires direct creativity, or whether you just need to be creative about how to handle or how to fix certain bottlenecks in your businesses, or how to brainstorm what that perfect next offering is going to be for your business that brings in the income that you need. So creativity is a tremendous benefit of journaling beyond just the typical things that we think of like emotional release, but those emotional benefits are huge as well. It does help promote mindfulness by focusing and being observant of the world around you or the world within you. You become more mindful, more aware, you become more, you're more noticed. No, that's all right. You take notice of the things around you. And it also helps improve anxiety and validates experiences and emotions. It's also been shown to actually improve your immune system. I love finding out these practices that have correlations to things that you normally or right off the bat wouldn't think about. Like, oh, if you journal, you could have less rheumatoid arthritis down later in life. But that's actually shown to be true. Studies have shown that there is an improvement in T cells from people who practice journaling, and that was shown by a study done from the University of Austin. It's also been shown to improve a variety of very specific diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, asthma. So very specifically, we've been able to see a link between journaling, which is, again, good for our emotions, but it's good for our brain as well, making sure that our brain is functioning in a very creative and balanced way. And being able to keep ourselves free of disease is just one more benefit, particularly as an entrepreneur who can't afford the time to be couched and out sick. Oftentimes when you're the business owner, the work has to get done whether or not you're feeling like it. So just one more way of keeping you at the top of your game so that you can show up in your business and in life the way that you want it to. It helps improve your sleep, which, as you know, we talk about that a lot in the Wealthy Boss community. Sleep is one of the most important precursors to every aspect of your health, including your brain function and the decisions that you make in your business. So journaling can help with that, and it also can help make your goals and desires more concrete, especially studies show when you journal by hand. So in a little bit, we're going to talk about the how of journaling. Right now, we're talking about the why. So there are definitely some very valuable forms of journaling in a digital format. But studies show that when you journal by hand, when you write things out by hand, particularly regarding your hopes and your goals and outcomes that you want in your business and your life, actually makes it much more likely that we will accomplish them because it's mentally reinforcing those goals and making them concrete instead of just something that we daydream about in our heads. Okay, so I have just thrown a lot of reasons at you. I've thrown them fast and furious as to why I think journaling is a practice you might want to consider experimenting with. But there's a big question mark after that. Okay, I know I need to journal. How exactly do I do it? Well, the good news is there's a lot of different forms. So if one format has not really worked for you in the past, or maybe you try going forward and it doesn't really click with you, I don't want you to give up yet because there are some other formats that might be more appropriate for you. So one of the most basic forms of journaling and what we often tend to think of, and it's the way that I most often engage in journaling, is just to simply reflect your own thoughts, your circumstances, how you feel about things. So you're basically processing your life on paper. Now, I think this is one of the most cathartic, beneficial forms of journaling. It really helps you get to know yourself better. It really helps you develop your self-identity and process through emotions and beliefs. But if you're not used to doing this, it can feel a little weird. It can feel too open-ended and maybe so overwhelming that you can't really get started. So sometimes a blank slate is actually not as helpful as having a little bit of structure or guidance. So guided journaling might be a better option for you, and there's lots of different ways you can do that. There are a lot of helpful guided journals out there. Katie Dalebout is one of the forerunners of promoting internal wellness through journaling. She has books on guided journaling that will give you those journal prompts and help you get started in the right direction. But there's a host of these out there, both physical, which we discussed is important, as well as digital, because if that's the way that you can actually make it happen, because you always have your device with you, then that's totally fine. Whatever is going to actually get you in the habit of doing it is the one you should do. So there are virtual journals. There's something called the 5-minute journal, which actually has, I believe it has a hard copy as well as an app. I've tried out the app recently myself. And that just prompts you twice a day. It sends you a little notification to spend a few moments, just no more than 5 minutes, capturing the highlights of your day, things you're grateful for, snapping a photo or a memory of something that you want to encapsulate the day with. It really kind of describes in a picture how your day is going. So there's lots of options for guided journaling if you feel like that might help give you a little bit more direction and structure on how to start harnessing those thoughts. Another way that you might try journaling that has a little bit more structure to it, but still allows you to be incredibly creative and harness your intentions in a very concrete and beneficial way, is writing a vision for your futures. Now, some people may not consider this journaling, but I actually think it can be a really powerful journaling exercise. So if you've never actually mapped out your 5-year plan or your vision for the future, I think this is super important. Personally, I do keep a Pinterest vision board of my 5-year plan and how I want my life to look, but I also actually type up periodically. I'll check in when I do my quarterly retreat. I'll check in with this 5-year plan and I'll update it when I need. I'll read it back to myself. And I describe in very clear detail what it is that I would like to project for my life. I describe my physical environment. I describe my family. I describe my schedule. I describe the things that I've accomplished in my business, the things that I've engaged in on a personal basis, habits that I wanted to create, and hobbies that I wanted to cultivate, and I write them as though they have already happened. This can be an incredible, powerful force for moving you closer to where you want to be, both in your business and in your life at large. So I highly suggest, if you've never done this, this isn't necessarily something you probably are going to do on a daily basis, but it is so good for you to be able to put in super specific detail what it is that you want in life. Because if you don't have a very concrete, clear idea of the direction you want to go in, how are you going to start setting goals and steps and believing in your own power to do those things? So dream big, but dream specific and put it on paper. It can be a super exciting and fun activity as well, and give you that extra dose of motivation you need to keep working on your goals to help materialize those things. Now, gratitude journaling is one more way. It's a very simple, very straightforward. It's something that anyone can do, and it can bring so much benefit to your day, and it can totally be done on a daily basis. And in fact, I think it's best done when it's on a daily basis, and that is gratitude journaling. So whether you do it first thing in the morning, whether you do it at night, whether it's through an app, I know some people who actually will do this as an activity between two people. So I know that some people will do this with their business partner or with their spouse. Is certainly a great way to do it as well. But you record together things that you're grateful for. And as cheesy as that may sound, it really trains your mind to focus on the positive and look for the positive, because we know when we look for the positive, we often find it. And then we're better able to enjoy those things that we already have. I know it's tempting sometimes to focus on the things that need to be fixed and the goals that we haven't yet achieved, because that's what motivates us to keep on working, keep on striving. But when we are able to recognize, and we are in the brain state of recognizing those good things around us, we are better able to appreciate them, to revel in them, to be in the moment, and to enjoy the life that we are getting to artfully design as entrepreneurs. I hope this episode has inspired you towards trying some type of journaling practice. Again, journaling can really be open-ended. It can be whatever you need it to be. So there is no one size fits all by any means, and there doesn't need to be, but there is value in writing down what's important to you, what you think, and how you feel. If you want to create a little bit more mindfulness in your life, I invite you to take my 7-day mindset mantra challenge. One other way to cultivate just a little bit more awareness and positivity into your daily routine. In this challenge, you're going to receive a daily text message every day for a week, which gives you a specific mantra through your phone, right where you need it, right when you need it, of a centering mantra for you to focus on that day. Now, these mantras are mantras that I personally use as a busy entrepreneur that help me stay focused, that help me be kind to myself, that help me take everything one day at a time. You can sign up for that 7-day Mindset Mantra Challenge by going to www.wealthyboss.com/mindset mantras. That's all one word. Don't forget, Wealthy Boss is spelled WELL. So again, that's wealthyboss.com/mindset mantras to take the 7-day Mindset Mantra Challenge. I am so glad you keep listening to the Wealthy Boss Show. Seriously, it is such an honor to be able to share the journey with you. As I learn things and as I discover things that help me as a busy entrepreneur to help stay focused, to help enjoy the moment and enjoy the process, you can guarantee I will be bringing them to you. And I love hearing from you as well. I love hearing your wisdom and how you take care of yourself on this entrepreneurial journey. So I love hearing comments from you, whether that's in the show notes, whether that's on Instagram or Facebook. So please keep those comments coming. Let me know what you want to hear more of. And I can't wait to talk to you next time. Thanks for listening.